Clancy. I own Haven Homes in Northwest Indiana. Been building since 2001. Started off in the south suburbs of Chicago and eventually migrated over to Northwest Indiana. Built, I would say, like production type home in the early stages of my building career, transitioned in custom, and now wanting to go back to more of a production home to simplify my life. Known Aaron for about 2.5 years now. I feel like I met him at the Builder 20 show or Builder 20 event in Florida. I feel like from day one, just seeing the process that Aaron had was something that I wanted it. Didn't really know how to get there, but I feel like he had it all mapped out, and it was definitely something that interested me. And then shortly after that, signed up with him, and I feel like just the knowledge and expertise that has been offered. I think I'm going to mention this once before that just it would take me years and years to learn it on my own. And then the question is always, how much would that cost me? And like, how much time can I save by just jumping on board with someone that's already done this? The value that Aaron and Joe have brought to Haven Homes, I think one of the biggest thing is just identifying like our product offering, coming up with a pricing matrix that something that we've struggled with for many, many years, where it would take us months to price out a house. And the customization that we would let the client drive the meetings and just go all over the place on what we would offer has now been and is starting to become more narrowed down, where now we can price out a home in 30 minutes with the client. And it's more controlled, and it's our options, it's our custom options instead of the client thinking of stuff on the fly. The old way of pricing out a home would always start off with like having like a plan in mind, going over every single room of what is included in it, going over a wish list with the client on what they would like to see in every room, going through the outside of all the materials, going over bump outs in the home, structural changes. And then from there, going to a drafter to draft like a concept of that plan, and then reaching out to all the subs and vendors for their pricing and what stuff would cost. Sometimes actually even having the client pick out, going to a meeting with that vendor to pick out selections so we can get a more accurate price. Waiting on whether it's lumberyard or flooring company to give us pricing that would take a month. The whole process, I would definitely say, like, depends on the size and how custom the house was. Long would be 6 months, short would probably be 2 months, and now we're talking 30 minutes. So I feel like the meetings with Aaron and Joe, I feel like if anything, it fits with our culture. Culture is huge for me, and I do feel like with us, our like core values, and I really try to live on them, is like passion, community, humility, and growth. And I feel like that both of you guys exhibit those, and I feel like it gels well with our team, and I feel like it's been seamless actually with Allison and Aaron and I. And the dad jokes actually, I like it. I like the dad jokes. So I feel like that is the first thing I think about when you mention how we're in the meetings. And like Joe, I like Joe. Joe's like, I feel like the opposite version of you, and I feel like that's why the two of you work great together. Joe, to me, like, obviously, like the more technical, you're probably the more visionary, and that's like the two of it coming together is what, to me, what makes it work. And it's like a missing piece for us that I enjoy having. What I would say to another builder that is considering working with Aaron and Joe, I feel like I definitely would highly recommend it. Go back to what I said a little bit ago, where just the time that could be spent trying to figure it out on your own, on how long that would take, and the unknown if you would ever get there. Is it worth it? And why not skip all the headaches, the pain that you have to go through? Because no matter what, I mean, growth is pain. And if someone else has already gone through it, why not learn from them and skip some of that pain? Since working with Joe and Aaron, I mean, we went from not even knowing what our leads were. We had no idea what the count was. And it was also that roller coaster ride of we're busy, we're not focused on leads. Oh, we're slow now, let's focus on leads. Maybe we have a model, so we got leads, or maybe we sold our model, now we don't have leads because we didn't plan. So it's a roller coaster ride. Now I feel like just number one with anything like tracking the data now and just knowing what our leads are. And we actually were just putting together like a year over year chart to look at for a visual, and just being like aware of the lead activity throughout the year on the highs and the lows, and not freaking out when you see a low, because it's the same thing we saw last year this time. And so not panicking. And I think it doesn't put you in a spot where you have to take all the jobs that you feel like you got to take that custom job. And it's like, if you know your lead activity, I feel like on the ups and downs that comes with it, you can like forecast, you can predict that it's going to get busy in the next month or so. A question that I would have to share with other builders before doing it would just, I'm sure everyone's going to question the cost. And is it worth the cost? Like, I am new into it, but I do believe that the cost is worth it. And going back to like just you're paying for knowledge, experience, instead of like reinventing the wheel from scratch. Like, you don't need to. And I definitely see the long-term benefits that it brings. Even like maybe the efficiencies it brings without needing to hire people to help pull it off on your own, that maybe now you don't need to hire. And then also, like, would you even hire the right people? It's a big question mark too. I could hire someone who I thought was Joe and Aaron to help build out the system and all that, and they can get it completely wrong. And I just wasted a ton of money. So I feel like you get what you pay for.